measuring scale, a ruler to measure the dimensions of the object. Or if you don't have any of these, you can even keep the object on top of a paper, a blank sheet of paper, and just mark the edges with a pencil or a pen. So you have a rough idea of the size of the object, and then later on we can verify. We can again take the measurement of the power after the power manifestation to verify how much is the size changed. Okay. So let's all take the initial measurement of the object, and then we will start the power manifestation. Let's quickly take a minute and take the first measurement of the size of the object that you have in front of you, on which you are going to manifest this power. This power is called the power of Mahima, increasing the size of any object. For all of you who know about the Hindu scripture, the epic, the Ramayana, in that Lord Hanuman, who is the supreme devotee of Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, he manifests all these Ashtama Shaktis very powerfully. He's known for manifesting these powers, such as he would simply by his will become so large in size, bigger than a mountain. So those are the powers which we are really talking about. Of course, we are starting with at a very small scale, but the fundamental cognition of manifesting the power is the same. So more and more you manifest this power, more and more you grow that completion space within you, you will see that you'll be able to manifest this power more and more ferociously, powerfully, and at a larger scale. Okay, so hopefully you've all taken the first measurement. So now let's create a space for the power manifestation to happen. Sit cross-legged on the floor. If you're not comfortable sitting on the floor, you can even sit on the chair, but keep your head, neck, and spine in the straight line. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, in your third eye. Connect with him from the space of deep gratitude and surrender, requesting him to manifest through you. Sit absolutely unclutched, holding the space of deep, complete completion. Start chanting the Mahavakya loudly from your navel. Let it vibrate in your entire body. Start chanting the Mahavakya, invoking the space of oneness with Bhagavan. Start chanting the Mahavakya. And from that space of oneness, holding the space of oneness, declare ferociously, consciously, for the size of the object to increase. And hold this intention, hold this sankalpa for the object, the size of the object to increase while you're chanting the Mahavakya and holding the space of oneness. Okay? So now, as we're chanting the Mahavakya, let the power manifestation begin.
Nityananda Paramashivoham Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivoham Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Paramashivoham Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham Om Nityananda.
Yes, you may all now relax. So now after this power manifestation, now let's quickly take another measurement of the object on which you manifested the power. Try using the same method of measurement. If it was a measuring tape before, use the same method for measuring the size. You measured it on a piece of paper. Again, draw the boundary, the edges of the object just next to the older one so that you can verify. Now, based on the new measurement, you can check how much is the difference, how much the increment is there in the weight of the object, and you can post it in the chat, Zoom chat, or in the comment section. Let all of us know how you did in the power manifestation. And if you have any questions also, you can ask. Yes. Yes. And meanwhile, you can also head over to the social media platforms and enrich as many people as you can with your experience of the power manifestation session, and inviting all the people to the Paramashivoham Level 2 so that they can also have a glimpse of this power manifestation, the science of power manifestation, and experience the superconscious breakthrough. And the biggest blessing that you can enrich them with is having an avatar, Swamiji himself, in their life as their guru. That is the best thing that you can do to them. So enrich as many people as you can, invite them for Paramashivoham, invite them for their daily darshans. And you can also invite them, you can share the link for the Kailasavasi application, as Kailasa is now open for all. The applications are open, and you can enrich people to become Kailasavasis and live with Swamiji in his own ecosystem, the ecosystem that he has built, to practice the authentic Hindu lifestyle without any interference, without any pain, suffering that we all experience in the outer world, blissfully living and experiencing the gifts that Swamiji has brought from Kailasa. And the link we have shared with all of you in the Zoom chat itself. So you can share this link with your friends, with your family, with as many people as you can. You can post it on the social media itself, inviting other people so that they also know that this opportunity, this blessed opportunity, is open for all. So this brings us to the end of this power manifestation session, and let's now move to the next segment. The next session is going to be a video from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, where he will be sharing the higher truths, the sacred secrets on the DNA of leadership. So let's all come to the space of listening, as these are the direct words and the revelations from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is the Paramavatara of Paramashiva himself, the Supreme Consciousness. So let's now watch this revelation.
We don't trust. The restful awareness can give rest. We always tend to believe rest means forgetting things, being irresponsible, foregoing the things you need to attend. The inability, irresponsibility, or non-attentiveness, non-attending is associated with rest. Unfortunately, you know only one rest, that is which is falling into the unconsciousness, sleep, where you don't care about things, where your complete decision not to care about things becomes predominant. Please understand. You do not know any other rest. It's so pathetic. Human beings do not know any other state for resting other than sleep. That is why always, if you want to take rest, you want to throw away things. You strongly believe irresponsibility and non-attending or disowning is the only way for rest. No. The moment you start believing disowning is the only way for rest, non-attending is the only way for rest, naturally your being likes to rest. So, it will always decide to let go, means let the past and future do whatever it wants in the mind. Let me rest. Please understand. Awareness, trying to live in the present, looks like a load on you because of your belief system. Why you don't want to live in the present? Even though you know the benefit. You know the benefit. If you have lived 10 minutes in the present, you know how many benefits. How you are alive, aware, excited, intense, passionate, and joyful, successful. You know it, but you decide not to live in present because you have a deep, strong belief present means stress, awareness means load. Till you remind your biomemory strongly, awareness means restfulness. Being in the present means deep relaxation. Till you remind your biomemory, make your biomemory understand, awareness means restfulness. Being in the present means utter relaxation. I don't know how much you are going to take. how much time and how much energy you are going to take to remind your system. Awareness means restful awareness. Being in the present means deeply relaxed. All the knots being shattered. That understanding, that clarity is a basic necessity for you to consciously decide to get enlightened, to live in the present moment. The problem is not just your intellectual understanding level. See, there are some problems which can be cleared just by the intellectual understanding. But the problem related to laziness, this is the deepest layer of laziness, the subtlest printout which you carry in your mind, blueprint which you carry in your mind about the past, present, future. This is one of the most dangerous blueprint you carry. Please understand, most dangerous blueprint means living in the present is stress, just being pushed and pulled by the past and future is relaxation. I can define the meaning of ignorance. Ignorance means believing, floating in the past and future is relaxation. Being in the present is stressful effort. This is ignorance.
Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyevana pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tatona vijigupsate. When you give problem to other person, be very sure, is it going to make him weak or strong? I tell you, just this one truth, stand with it. You will manage everything in your life. You will manage everything in your life. Everything in your life will just strengthen you. Strengthen you. It will be just from strength to strength to strength to strength. In southern part of Tamil Nadu, there are some trees. Even if they get buried by natural calamity, in course of time they become stones. They don't just get disintegrated. It's called Kalmaram in Tamil language. If you go to Tiruvakkarai, Pondicherry, you will see those trees which has become stone. Even if they are buried, they don't get disintegrated, they become stone. Understand, it's a stuff out of which you are made. Your belief about you, that decides whether you are going to be disintegrated by getting buried or you are going to become a stone. Whether you are going to be buried or you are going to be in Jiva Samadhi, it is decided based on the concept you have about your Jiva. Even while you are living, that feeling that I can be violated, I will be violated, will constantly be like, I think I am getting violated. If you repeat, I can be, I will be, I may be, I think I am. That's the way it ends up. Just remember this one thing. Nothing can violate you. Sadasiva Brahmendra, one of the greatest saint, Siddha of modern era, his samadhi is in Karur. Near Karur there is a small village called Nerur. In that village his samadhi is there. When I went to his samadhi, he gave me a grass as a blessing. That grass was this pure understanding that I cannot be violated. Meditate on this. Think about it. Stop reducing the idea about you to the level you can be violated. If you think you are the few thousand rupee or few $100 in your purse, just somebody stealing, picking up your purse, you will feel violated. Or if you think your name and fame is your personality, just somebody looking at you without respect, you will feel violated. If somebody looks at you, immediately you will feel violated. Understand, it is how you identify yourself that decides whether you will be violated or not. Whoever feels I can never be violated is my disciples. Understand? I am defining who is my disciple. Whoever decides I cannot be violated, I will never be violated, I am beyond any violation, you are Shiva Gana. You are embodying Mahadeva. Mahadeva is a principle. He is form also. Whoever catches that principle, your form is Mahadeva's form. Your form becomes Mahadeva's form. You will be radiating the grace of Mahadeva, the beauty of Mahadeva. The beauty of Shiva, the beauty of Mahadeva, the grace of Shiva, the grace of Isha. So today's Vakyartha Sadas is, subject for today's Vakyartha Sadas, I cannot be violated. Tatona vichugupsate yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyevanu pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tatona vichugupsate. Vichugupsate na vichugupsate. Tatona vichugupsate, therefore does not feel violated. Your delusion that the time spent while you are in your body is your time is wrong. It is not your time. It was not your time. It was perceived by you with your broken, beaten, abused cognition. Your cognition is not complete cognition till integrity and authenticity and responsibility and enriching becomes the basis of your cognition. Till then, your cognition is nothing but confusion. Never you can develop your life as long as you think whatever has happened in the past and perceived by you as the past is yours. No. Not owning which you can't own, owning which you can own is life. Unfortunately, you try to own which you can't own, not own what you are supposed to own. Your future time you are supposed to own, but you don't own. You do not take responsibility for it, you don't own it. You don't take ownership for it. Your past which you can't own, you continue to own continuously. Because your mind teaches you, known is right. Freedom from the known is the real freedom. Just because it is known, don't think you can own. You are supposed to own for your future. You are the owner of your future. You should take ownership for your future. But 90% of your thoughts look in. It is all about past. When I see a person, I can tell based on his eyes, the expression of his eyes, whether he is lost in the past or looking towards the future. The eyes which has no power means lost in the past, which you are supposed to be a owner, which you are supposed to be owning. You don't take ownership. Your energy does not even flow towards it. Some things which you can't own, you try to go on owning it, your past. You might have lived with her for 50 years. She might have been your first and last love. You would have had a most romantic life with her. Even then, you cannot keep her dead body more than few hours with you. This is exactly the way you behave with your past. Wake up. Just because she was your beloved, you lived with her for years, she was fulfilling all your dreams, and you had a romantic relationship. She was part of you, and you had an amazing life, love, living together. She was your first and last love. Don't forget the truth. You cannot keep her dead body. Once she is dead, she is dead. You have to bury her body. It is time you bury her body. It is time give a farewell to her. Constantly you trying to brood over about your failures. When you try to brood over about your failures, you empower your failures. Already you have planned your future is going to be failure. One of the biggest delusion human beings suffer is the future comes out of past. I tell you, future comes out of past, not out of past. Future comes out of past, not out of past. I'll give you some of the important sacred secrets on your inner space and its patterns or possibility. Please listen. Whether your inner space is pattern or possibility, I tell you, you can easily understand whether you are established in pattern or your possibility by looking at the results you produce by your actions. Results you have as your inner and outer reality of your life are a real reflection of the inner space you are carrying, which is either a space of pattern or space of possibility. You need to understand. The result you produce based on that, you can very clearly see, find out whether you are established in the space of patterns or possibility. I wanted to expand on the same subject continuously so many days, because when I expand on the same subject so many days, from every angle you understand. One more thing, I am not an entertainment show, I am an entrainment show. So I will have to constantly repeat till you reach what you are supposed to reach. Sometimes some of the truths should be constantly repeated, constantly reminded, constantly settled. I tell you, the best way to reach the completion is never allow the pattern to stand up to get the second beating. Before the fellow stands up, beat again. Please understand. The biggest problem we have is, today we complete, and if we feel complete, great, then we take rest. Till the next time again the patterns comes up and we feel suffocated. That is wrong. Even if you feel complete, continue the completion process by digging out, digging out, digging out. Is there any other incompletion? Is there any other ideas I carry as impossible? Please understand, if you are not able to fly, that is incompletion with your ability to fly. If you are not able to disappear in the air, that is incompletion with your ability to disappear. Ahima, Anima, Mahima, Lahima, Karima. There is 8 major siddhis, means you can become as heavy as mountain. You can become as light as an atom. There are 8 siddhis: Anima, Mahima, Karima, Lahima, Ishitvam, Vashitvam. Even in these 8 siddhis, if any one siddhi is not expressing through you, you have incompletion with that siddhi. Start completing. Understand what I am saying. Just because you feel light, relieved in your heart, the suffocations are less in your heart, don't think completion is done. Feeling that no suffocation is the first step of completion. With this, you get the signal you are in the right direction. The board Bangalore 97 km is not Bangalore. The moment you see board Bangalore 97 km, you say, come on, great. And you just lie down and put your tent and start cooking and eating and rolling on the road. No. The board 97 km is not Bangalore itself. Same way, the relief you find during the completion for first few days is not end of completion. Completion should be carried till you become enlightened. Understand? Till you feel you are one with the space of Nityanandoham.
Yes. So after this revelation by Bhagwan himself on the DNA of leadership, now we'll be entering into the Nitya Kriya. And the Nitya Kriya for creating a new leadership consciousness. Yes. So, and this is a cure for insomnia. So we'll be going through the steps. Listen carefully. Then at the last, we'll be performing the exercise itself. So in this Kriya, the first step involved is Salabhasana or the locust pose posture, which is from Gerandra Samhita, second Updesha, 39th verse. So in this, lie on the ground, face is on the down, we are facing down. The two hands being placed on the chest, touching the ground with the palms. Then raise the leg in the air 1 cubit high. This is called the locust posture. This is one of the asana during the when we perform DVK. In the first 108 asana, this asana comes, Salabhasana. So this is the posture. So when you lie down on the stomach with the legs and the feet together and soles of the feet uppermost. The arms may be placed either under the body or by the sides with the palms downwards and hands clenched. Stretch the chin slightly forward and rest it on the floor throughout the practice. Then close the eyes and relax the body. This is the starting position. Then slowly raise the leg as high as possible. Keep them straight and together. The elevation of the leg is produced by applying pressure with the arms against the floor. Yes, when you are elevating the legs, make sure that you are applying the pressure with the arms against the floor and comfortable without straining yourself. Slowly lower the legs to the floor. Then return to the starting position. Relax the body with the head turned to one side. Allow the respiration and heartbeat to return to the normal. Now, contract the bowels equably above and below the navel towards the back so that the abdominal viscera may touch the back. Now, he who practices the Uddiyana, the flying up, without ceasing, conquers death itself. The great bird, the breath, by this process, is instantly forced up into Shushumna Nadi and flies constantly therein only. Now here the Sastramana and the translation of this is, perform the Yoni Mudra and let him imagine that he is Shakti and Paramatma is Purusha. And both have been united in one. By this, he becomes full of bliss and realizes Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahma, I am Brahman. This conduces to Advaita Samadhi. The next technique was face your palms to the ceiling, thumb apart from other fingers. Join both the thumbs and index fingers together, forming a triangle. Now perform the Kaki Mudra. Contract the lips like a beak of a crow and drink the air slowly and slowly. This Kaki Mudra the crow mudra, is the destroyer of all diseases. Yes. So let's perform this Kriya. First step is lie down on the stomach in Sarvasana. And then lock your hands in the triangle with the thumbs and index fingers. Perform Udyana Bandha and Kaki Kumbhaka as explained before. So let's take 5 minutes for this Kriya. As you can see in the picture, this is a posture of Salabhasana or the locust pose posture. So make sure that you are into this is the first step into this Salabhasana. So perform this posture. Now, as you can see, this is the Sarvasana posture. So now let's perform the second and the third step, as you can see.
Yes. So after this Nitya Kriya, this very powerful technique that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed for all of us to practice regularly for creating a new leadership consciousness inside us. Now let us move to the next segment, which is going to be another video on the topic Responsibility Awakens Leadership Consciousness. The significance of responsibility and how the power of responsibility creates the leadership consciousness inside us. Let's hear directly from Bhagwan.
Today I will expand on the third principle, responsibility, and the unique relationship responsibility carries, the unique equation it carries to construct the reality of your choice. Let me define responsibility once more. Please listen. I am defining responsibility. Living and responding means thinking, feeling, acting, cognizing to life from the truth that you are the source of everything. Therefore, you are responsible for all happenings inside you and around you. Thinking, feeling, acting, responding, cognizing from the truth you are the source of everything. Please be very clear. The person who talks as only one reason of making you responsible, I am responsible to make you experience responsibility as I experienced. Person with eye is responsible to give vision to a blind person. Person with wealth is responsible to guide poor man to wealth. Person with power is responsible to make powerless people to become powerful. Person with energy is responsible to make energyless people with energy. Person with knowledge is responsible to make ignorant people knowledgeable. If you have knowledge, the moment you have knowledge, you become responsible to make ignorant knowledgeable. If you are powerful, you become responsible to make powerless powerful. If you are wealthy, you become responsible to make poor wealthy. Listen, I am not saying distribute your wealth. If we are having 10 poor people and you distribute all your wealth to the 10 poor people, we will have 11 poor people, that's all. With you, we will have 11 poor people. One more poor person. No. I am not asking you to distribute your wealth, but take responsibility of educating them and making them rich. Anything you own, you become responsible to share it. Make it grow. There are only two types of human beings. Listen. People who feel responsible become leaders. People who don't feel responsible continue to be slaves. There are some people don't feel responsible even for their own actions because they forgot their action is going to bring this result. Many times, even when they plan for business, they only plan if it fails,
whom they will hold responsible, they don't plan to make it successful. Holding somebody responsible is not going to solve your problem. Plan for success. Don't do, when you plan itself, if you get an idea, if this fails, what to do? Immediately you think, I'll hold him responsible. But you holding him responsible is not going to bring you success. While that thought comes, I'll hold him responsible, cut it. Holding anybody responsible is not going to solve the issue. See to it he is educated to make things successful. Listen. Work not done plus valid reason is not equivalent to work done. Work not done plus valid reason is not equivalent to work done. Work done is only equivalent to work done. People who don't take responsibility even for their own action remain as slave forever. People who take responsibility for their action live as human beings, a middle class life, one house, one car, one wife, 2 kids, maybe one affair somewhere. A middle class life, what I call neo-middle class, happening in India. Life lived as mediocre, middle level, is not going to be fulfilling. There is another one class. People who take responsibility even for others' actions. When you take responsibility even for others' actions, others' irresponsibility, you become leader. Whatever may be disturbing you and your life's mission, whatever may be disturbing you and your life's mission, even if you are not reason, you are responsible. Listen. Being a reason is different. Being responsible is different. Many times, even if you are not directly reason, only when you take the responsibility, it is solved. Leaders are created with a DNA of responsibility. Responsibility is the software for leaders' inner space. Not only take responsibility for your actions, take responsibility for everything which affects your life, even if it is others' actions. Only when you feel, when you decide you are responsible, you will even look into the direction of solving the problem. Only then you will solve the problem. Till then, you will be just blaming, he is responsible, he is responsible, he is responsible, he is responsible. All right. Blaming each one is responsible is not going to get you successful. Maybe you can manage your boss, saying, he is responsible, he is responsible, he is responsible. Why we don't take responsibility? First step in our life, if you are receiving 10,000 rupees salary from your office, you think, for the 10,000 I am taking already enough responsibility. Why should I take more responsibility when they are paying only 10,000 to me? Don't be foolish. Taking responsibility is first going to help you to live an expanded life. It is not the favor you are doing for your boss. Listen, first thing you need to understand, the 10,000 which is paid is not equivalent to you and your service. Second, you need to understand,
By you not taking the responsibility, you are not destroying your boss's possibility, you are destroying your possibility. It is like you destroy your possibility and you think your boss will be suffering. You drink poison, you expect your boss to die. When you don't take responsibility, you destroy your possibility. First, decide you are going to be in your peak possibility by constantly taking responsibility. Taking responsibility is the right mental setup. It is not that you are doing some favor to somebody by taking responsibility. By taking responsibility, you are doing favor to yourself. It is the greatest favor you do to you. When you break that pattern, why should I take the responsibility? Your life starts. When you build the pattern, why should I take the responsibility? Your death starts. When you stop taking responsibility, even if you are alive, you are not living. You are waiting to be buried.
Today I will express few words on the truth. Taking responsibility. Please understand, when seed is ready to take the responsibility of becoming tree, it grows, it transforms itself. When egg takes the responsibility of becoming a chicken or hen, it grows, expands and transforms itself. It is the decision to take the responsibility is breakthrough point. In any field, whether it is economical, corporate, social, or relationships, or spiritual, when you decide to take responsibility, the breakthrough happens, the opening happens, the possibility opens. The straight method to make all the accidents into possibilities is taking responsibility. When you can't take responsibility, even the air goes inside, can become accident and stop your heart. It won't come out. If you are ready to take the responsibility, even the poison goes inside, can become part of you and make you a new being, immune to the poison. The system which is ready to take the responsibility, please understand, if you take the responsibility for your Annamaya Kosha, physical plane, you become healthy. If you take the responsibility of your Pranamaya Kosha, the pranic layer, whatever happens, you become team leader, because anything in your team happens in your breathing space, you become team leader. If you take the responsibility of whatever is happening in your Manomaya Kosha, mental layer, means all the information comes to you and the response you do, and all the happenings around you which directly impacts your mind and mental setup, you become social leader. If you take the responsibility of your Vijnanamaya Kosha, means all the emotion, mental setup created from the young age in you, you become the leader of country who sets a trend for future mental setups. When you take the responsibility for Anandamaya Kosha, bliss layer, you became the leader of the cosmos, because now you need to change the whole cosmos. Only then you can be blissful. Only then your bliss can be eternal bliss. So the more and more and more responsibility you take, more and more expansion happens in your consciousness.
Understand, only after Ishwaratva is achieved unclutching is possible. When you sit with the cognition, you are responsible for everything. You have the intuition to do the right actions in future, and you complete your past. The beauty is you realize the Ishwaratva is your very nature. Constantly the Ishwaratva, being leader, the leadership consciousness is your very inner space. When you feel leadership consciousness, Ishwaratva in your inner space, life becomes miraculous. That is what I call completion with you and the world. Only then you can sit unclutched in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. When you feel you are responsible for everything, you will start looking into the truth. You will start looking into the solution. You will start seeing the possibility for the solution. But only when you take the responsibility, you find the solution. I tell you, in every situation, take responsibility. You will have the leadership consciousness happening through you. I tell you, when you take responsibility, the leadership consciousness starts oozing out. When you take responsibility, you are in the space of achieving it, doing it. When you are in the space of responsibility, your verbalization, visualization, inner space, everything supports you. Whole universe supports you, because universe experiences its fulfillment through the cognitions which feels responsible. When you don't feel responsible, you are drop in the ocean. When you feel responsible, you are ocean in the drop. Now I can see how the leadership consciousness expresses when you take responsibility. Listen. Even if you take one step towards the responsibility, cosmos takes 1,000 steps taking responsibility for you. When you take the responsibility, the cosmic hologram opens in you. Please understand the principle of hologram. When you see the whole, you will see an image. When you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, even the smallest bit will be the same image. When you see the whole sheet, it will be the same image. When you go into, dissect, you will see the same image till the end. Macrocosm is in microcosm, microcosm is in macrocosm, is hologram. Cosmos is built on the structure of hologram. You are the microcosmic hologram of the macrocosmic diagram. The microcosmic hologram is awakened the moment you take the responsibility. Feel responsible. After you feel responsible for everything, the disciplehood happens in you is trustworthy disciplehood. Till you feel you are responsible for everything, any decision you make, even if you feel you are surrendering, it can't be trusted. You are dangerous. You may be falling at the feet just to pull the feet, pull the leg, not to worship, not just for your job, wealth, and family. When you feel responsible for whatever is happening with your knowledge, you become man. When you feel responsible for whatever is happening beyond your knowledge, you become God. When you feel responsible even for the avyakta, unmanifested, you become God. Achieving divinity means feeling responsible, feeling constantly responsible. Responsibility changes the way you think. It changes the way you perceive. It changes the way you feel. It changes the way you are. Responsibility changes everything. The way you internalize life. Responsibility changes the way you internalize life. You start internalizing with the idea of solving. Biggest question we have now in our mind, how can I be responsible? Everything happening around me, I can be held responsible what is happening inside me. How can I be held responsible for what is happening outside me? For example, if an accident happens in my life, how can I be responsible? Everybody asks this question. Let me answer you. Person who does not feel responsible even for his actions is an animal, lives in a very low consciousness. Person who feels responsible for his actions is a human being, lives in a middle level consciousness. Person who takes responsibility even for others' actions is divine, lives in leadership consciousness, Ishwaratva. Sometime you may not be reason for some happenings, but if it is affecting your life, you are responsible for that happenings. Just because you are not reason as per your logic, you can't say you are not responsible in truth. Every one of us are greedy for powers leaders have, powers gods, higher souls have, but unfortunately, no one wants to take the responsibility for it. I tell you, world has abundance. Neither the wealth nor the extraordinary powers are restricted when you take responsibility, when you start becoming responsible. powers, wealth, spiritual powers, all the auspicious things starts expressing through you intensely. Responsibility expands your possibilities. Let me define responsibility. Responding to the world from the best possibility is responsibility. Responding to you and to the world from the best possibility is responsibility. Responsibility not only awakens leadership qualities in you, it awakens leadership consciousness in you. ध्यान से सुनिए, qualities are different, consciousness is different. In the corporate life, in the outer world, if you are taking responsibility for some position, post, you may express leadership qualities, but when you take responsibility for everything happening in and around you, you express leadership consciousness. When you expand your commitments and the responsibilities you hold in your being for yourself goes on expanding and expressing all the possibilities. Either you react or respond. You only have two ways of relating with the world. If you feel you are not responsible, you react. If you feel you are responsible, you respond. When all your actions are responding, you are a karma yogi. No karma binds you. You are living in completion, expressing completion. When you feel you are not responsible, you react. Reacting puts you in bondage. Reacting keeps you in incompletion. Only when you express all the possibilities out of liberation cognition, Jivan Mukta Sambhavana, you are living your life. Life is lived when Jivan Mukta Sambhavana becomes your lifestyle. The space of possibility, space of leadership, I tell you, nothing else is required for you to be a leader. Just leadership consciousness is enough. When Vivekananda walked length and breadth of India, he did not have anything other than leadership consciousness in his life. But Wherever he went, kings washed his feet, gave their own thrones for him to sit, received his blessings, guidance, requested for his spiritual support. Leadership consciousness is independent, intelligent, cannot be hidden from others. Once you have it, whole world will know you have it. Simply, world listens to you. You do not need any power, political strength, infrastructure for the world to know you are a leader. Even if you walk in the street, you will stand tall, man among men. And the world will respect you. It is leadership consciousness which brings not just success, fulfillment in you. I tell you, I have seen thousands of politicians who are having power without having the state of leadership consciousness. It is responsibility makes you realize all possibility. उत्तरदायित्व आपको हर संभव संभावना से साक्षात्कार करा देता है. उत्तरदायित्व आपको हर संभव संभावना से साक्षात्कार करा देता है. Sometimes people sit in the throne or get the power, become power center without having the state of a leader. I have seen them dying in depression, suffering in suffocation due to the power. They never enjoy the power. Unless you achieve the status becomes liability. Status binds you and brings suffering to others if you have not achieved the state. The state of responsibility, state of the leader, Ishwaratva, leadership consciousness has to be achieved first. दुनिया में हजारों लोग हैं जो नेता की कुर्सी पर है, किंतु नेता की मनोस्थिति एवं चेतना स्थिति उनमें नहीं है. दुनिया में हजारों लोग हैं जो नेता की कुर्सी पर है, किंतु नेता की मनोस्थिति एवं चेतना स्थिति उनमें नहीं है. When you do not carry the consciousness of leader, sometimes people sit in the throne or get the power, become power center without having the state of a leader. I have seen them dying in depression, suffering in suffocation due to the power. They never enjoy the power. Unless you achieve the status becomes liability. Status binds you and brings suffering to others if you have not achieved the state. The state of responsibility, state of the leader, Ishwaratva, leadership consciousness has to be achieved first. When you do not carry the consciousness of leader, you are bound by the powers of the leader, even if you get it, and you will bind the people who come under you, accepting you as leader. This is one of the biggest disease India is suffering. Many seats are occupied by the people who are not responsible enough for the seat they are occupying. From the individual house to the seats, official power, political power, media power. In every field, many people who have not achieved the state get the status, they become liability.
Yes. So after this amazing revelation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on how responsibility awakens the leadership consciousness in us, how it awakens that state of leader, and then the status also follows, but it does not depend on the status, because if the state of the leadership consciousness is awakened inside us, even if the person walks on the street, he will be walking tall like a man among men, and whole world will recognize him. So let's now quickly enter into the internalization exercise so that we can assimilate this truth in our own life and manifest it. First, a quick recap from this video that we watched. Swamiji says, even if you take responsibility without having the right understanding or with half understanding, it is not going to be real responsibility. Then how does real responsibility happen? Swamiji says, it is going to be out of context, this kind of responsibility. Listen, understand. Only when you complete, you will know the right reason for taking responsibility. You will know why I should take responsibility, why I am responsible. Only then you taking responsibility will be really, really useful to you. So understand, responsibility can happen to you only after completion.
Now, the only expression of completion is that you will express real responsibility, which is being responsible for every human being in your breathing space and being responsible for their completions. You will experience being responsible for liberating other human beings from sufferings of their life. And you will be responsible for their expansion, for they experiencing expansive space and energy in them.
And there's one more thing that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing. He says, you can take responsibility in your life even out of greed. Understand? Just to have a best family, you can take responsibility for your family. Just to be a leader, you can take responsibility in your office. Just to be a successful team head, you can take responsibility for your team. For various reasons, you can take responsibility, but only the responsibility you take after completion will make you a Jivan Mukta, a liberated person. Today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shared this sacred secret on how completion makes us take the real responsibility. So, with completion, we experience a space where everything goes positive for us. Even if it looks a little negative, it may look like only after completion you will feel the power of compassion, you will feel a responsibility.
So now let's enter into the internalization exercise. Let's get ready. Pen down all the moments in your life where you reacted to a situations and how the consequences affected your life. Did you visualize the consequences? Because just in the previous videos, how I told, reacting actually binds you. So pen down all those moments in your life where you reacted to the situation and how the consequences affected your life. And also, did you visualize those consequences? Next, pen down what kind of responsible response you should have had. Next, decide to respond to situations only from the space of responsibility from now onwards. So this is a very important exercise. This, if you start doing this, leadership consciousness will get awakened in you. So let's perform this exercise sincerely. Let's begin.
Yes. So now you can all relax. And with this declaration that now you will be operating from the space of responsibility. Responsibility not only for the things happening in your inner space, inside, but also outside, because that is what makes us God, which lifts us up above from the even the space of being a human being to living as a divine being, as God. So this brings us to the end of today's Paramashivoham Level 2. Tomorrow again, we'll have an exciting series of sessions, power manifestation sessions, powerful cognitions, and of course, the live darshan from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The day will start as usual with the Nityananda Yoga, intense 3-hour Vidya Vinyasa Krama sequence. We request all the participants to be there on time and do the yoga authentically with intensity so that you are ready to receive all the powerful cognitions throughout the day and also ready to receive the initiation during the live darshan. So let's close this day with the Purna Mantra, holding our hands in the Atmanjali Mudra, expressing our gratitude towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sarvam Bhagavad Sri Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityanandam. Thank you, Nityanandam.